Salve, salve galerinha! Hoje é dia de semifinal. E semifinal quer dizer que teremos Royal versus PSG, meus amigos. Esse jogo já aconteceu, esse confronto já aconteceu, essas equipes já se enfrentaram. E ficou 1 a 1 na fase de grupos. Mas não foi 1 a 1, foi 1 a 1 com a RNG suando. Então tem tudo para acontecer um grande jogo aqui, meus camaradas. Uma grande série que temos pela frente, numa melhor de 5.
Last year, Cryan's second most played mid laner was Rumble. He and Wei got together for a lot of jungle mid shenanigans. But we'll see if that ever does come back if RNG wants the mid priority.
Yeah, it's really interesting about RNG because Wei and Cryan coming from E-Stars, it was all about snowballing through mid jungle.
Achei muito forte isso daqui pra tentar negar a prioridade do Xiaohu, só que eles acabaram banindo um dos principais counters do Lee Sin, né? Morgana. E agora a PSG ela tá numa encruzilhada ali, tipo de... E agora? A gente cai no bait da bot lane, a gente pega o Rumble, o que a gente quer pegar?
Yeah, if you look at the most picked champions of MSI 2021, the ones that are actually on the Rift, Udyr, Kai'Sa and the Nautilus are the top 3.
E eu vou dizer, eu acho que o primeiro draft deles, esse primeiro jogo de uma série melhor de 5, ainda vai ser um jogo de estudo, vai ser um jogo para ver como eles estão hoje. E do segundo jogo em diante a gente vai começar a ver umas sujeirinhas, digamos assim.
And Kai'Sa, the most picked champion of MSI, goes along as well. So PSG definitely have the cream of the crop right now.
Definitely, and now I want to see where RNG goes with it. Instantly locking in that Morgana is pretty surprising. I think it's looked like Wei's most uncomfortable champion out of those 3 that you mentioned. The analyst desk highlighted that they expected RNG to ban it, and Gala has not been playing much Tristana. He's only picked it once at this tournament, but wants to go with that pick. We have seen it's very strong against the Kai'Sa, especially at level 2 and 3, if you can find that rocket jump with the all-in.
Absolutely. So, looking to see if Nautilus shows up there. Again, I like the champion a lot into Tristana because it can be hard to rocket jump away from the crowd control successfully. But Gnar is, I think, 4th place in the priority list, and right now PSG just going down the list. And to be fair, RNG the same. Going down the list of the highly prized champions across solos, Gnar versus Lee Sin, very well the top lane matchup. Keep in mind, Cryan has not played a Lee Sin game at MSI.
O Udyr contra Morgana é um matchup esquisito, porque você tem o Black Shield que ignora ele. Mas ao mesmo tempo, a Morgana é muito mais difícil de executar do que o Udyr, né? Você tem que acertar os skill shots pra ela ser útil, caso contrário, ela é inútil. Ela é nada. E a gente ainda vai ter... A princípio, né, como o Cryan não foi um jogador muito adepto do Lee Sin, apesar dele provavelmente saber usar o campeão e usar, a PSG tá confiante de trazer Gnar contra ele.
Exactly, and keep in mind, red team picks first here, and you're almost certainly grabbing support, and then, saving counter pick from mid lane. So if you pinch too heavily, they just take the Leona or take the Nautilus, and you've got nothing left up. So Leona versus Not is likely to be the matchup we're seeing here. Well banned away on the one side, just in case.
Agora a dúvida é Leona ou Nautilus, Leona ou Nautilus.
Or further, but we can see what the final ban is going to be. I am curious. It is Nautilus, so Leona.
Eu também acho a Leona mais tranquila de lidar, entre aspas, e o Nautilus um ban que é mais necessário. Porque o Nautilus ele tem um point and click na ultimate, ele tem muita pressão de lane, muita coisa que é difícil de lidar. Eu gosto da Alistar, mas é óbvio que a equipe que tem o Kai'Wing vai cair pra Leona. É o campeão mais jogado dele.
You'd love to see AD Soul Laners come out, but with you banning the Nocturne and the enemy banning the Renekton, we might just see something standard come out. Ooh, you're right, Freak. We get a Braum.
We get a Braum. I think it's been played once. It did not win. Orianna comes through for Cryan.
Tá, vamos lá. Vamos ver o que vai ser de counter do outro lado. E aí eu vou pausar pra fazer aquela leiturinha com vocês, rapidinho.
We are just going to have that kind of standard look here, and Maple may just go for strict team fighting. Only played Azir once so far at MSI, but of course, any mid laner worth their salt has plenty of games in that champion. And as he goes back to it, this...
Tá, vamos lá. Composição da Royal, né? A Royal, ela pegou o Lee Sin first pick, porque ele é um power pick, ele é um campeão que tá muito forte, e eles conseguem e sabem utilizar bem esse Lee Sin. O Lee Sin, ele traz potencial de pick-off, traz potencial de disrupt, né, de disruptar o posicionamento do inimigo, desmanchar um posicionamento bem executado do inimigo, e traz ainda potencial de dano e pressão na lane com wave clear através do E dele. Morgana. Morgana traz um wave clear rápido, traz o escudo negro, que é uma coisa que só ela tem, e um potencial de iniciação ou anti-iniciação em área com a ultimate. Porque se ela ultar, geralmente o pessoal vai querer sair da área das correntes, então consequentemente você tem uma oportunidade de desengajar caso você esteja sendo iniciado e tenha uma Morgana. Uma coisa que vale dar um highlight aqui, vale iluminar um pouco essa questão, é que ao mesmo tempo que que o escudo da Morgana, ele é ótimo porque ele tira CC, e se você não tiver dano mágico para estourar ele, você fica imune a CC. Ao mesmo tempo, ele é ruim porque ele só protege contra dano mágico. Então, se você tiver uma composição de dano físico pesado, a Morgana fica muito frágil e pode acabar virando um alvo. No outro, né, e aí que a gente tem a Tristana. Tristana Brown é uma bot lane que provavelmente a Tristana vai vir com chuva de lâminas, então é bem fácil de destacar a passiva do Brown. Então eles têm um potencial de troca muito forte contra esses dois campeões de corpo a corpo, principalmente. E como a Kai'Sa tem alcance curto, é tranquilo para o Brown acertar um Q, eventualmente, e poder iniciar contra ela. Ele também ajuda a desengajar contra isso, principalmente. Contra esse kitzinho aqui, a partir do nível 6. No mid, os dois querem escalar, pressão de início de jogo é do Azir, mas equipara depois do primeiro B, se a Orianna itemizar o capítulo perdido. A composição da PSG joga em... tem potencial de pick-off, ou seja, pegar um alvo isolado e criar vantagem numérica de maneira muito rápida para matar ele. E também joga numa espécie de teamfight, mas a teamfight deles é mais curto alcance e é mais cozinhar e explodir, tá? Eles têm como forma de iniciação principal a Leona e os follow-ups do Nari e do Azir para dar mais dano em área, enquanto o Udyr ele vai escolher alvos específicos, principalmente Tristana, Lee Sin e Orianna, para tentar stunar eles. Por outro lado, a Royal tem uma composição também de luta, só que eles querem desengajar e fazer uma luta em dois tempos. Eles querem primeiro ser engajados, desengajar e começar a luta.
Definitely, I think it's the best chance that a PCS / going back to LMS team has had in a long time at an international event. Again, RG are definitely favorites,
sure,
but I'm not counting out PSG. And also nice to see, one of the defining things about this game, I feel like, is, which bottom lane can start getting control of this laning phase. Sure, we do expect PSGs to get that control, because as you highlighted, Braum a bit more passive, not like Leona can all in, because Braum is more of a neutralizing pick overall. But maybe with the fact that PSG can get some bot lane prio, they can start to work with River once he makes it towards his bot side. Maybe get some deep vision, maybe start playing for some picks, and that could be a way that PSG start to open up this game and set up for that team fighting later on.
Absolutely the case. Keep in mind, no cleanse on Cryan. He's got teleport down there, so if Kaiwing can make that roam happen, that's going to be exciting, setting up with River, who, I mean, again, more and more these teams are prioritizing Udyr as the champion, and he's actually going for an early invade. Wei is going to finish his big wolf, and as they spot each other, this could be a little dangerous. Yeah, just runs right back out. Orianna,
eu acho que a Morgana tava sem o quê?
trade back onto Braum just doesn't mean very much. Coming, maybe could have saved the Q stun if he expected the rocket jump, but
Meu
no
Deus.
harm, no foul, bit of damage going either way. Mid laner's now battling as Maple jumps back in. Decent damage there on a Cryan, actually. Puts down a 200 HP, and the junglers are still battling because, hey, Hanabi has control with the Gnar, and as Smite was forced out from Way, it is an easy blue steal for River. Nicely done.
Meu amigo.
Down a camp, but a blue steal looks nice.
É, isso daí é o abuso da pressão do mid e E é uma leitura de movimentação diferente, sabe? Ele gastou o tempo que ele tinha pra descer, e ao invés de descer, ele invadiu a jungle pra tentar negar coisas, já que ele também tem pressão no bot. E você vê que o Hanabi, ele abriu mão de um pouco de pressão na lane, abriu mão de um pouco de farm e tudo mais, para poder ajudar na jungle. Se o Hanabi não desce antes e não consegue fazer isso, era uma misplay imensa do River. Mas ali acabou sendo uma invasão perfeita. Negou o blue buff da Morgana, ou seja, negou muito potencial da Morgana também, porque é um campeão que vai ter problemas de mana, que depende muito das suas skills.
I don't think any of the lanes look that gankable. Maybe top if Xiaohu gets the wave in a good position and Hanabi is mini Gnar. But point is, he at least now has ways to start affecting the map. But still, anytime River gets into his face, I think Wei will be having a
Vale ressaltar que nesse momento o Cryan já resetou e o Maple não, tá?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is all Braum can do is walk up and slow Kaiwing, and he's like, okay, I'll walk back, no big deal. The wave now, okay, it's Gala and Ming just hard shoving it. They don't want to have this wave slowly push back. They would like to get their first recalls off. Should be just shy of Noon Quiver, but already you can see Dago has come back with double longsword, and now that Gala's going to lose the recall. So I don't know exactly what happened, but Dago and Kami did a great job of managing to get the lane to equal CS while also being up in items. Gala really wants to recall since he's down 20 AD, but doesn't get the chance to because the wave's going to keep freezing.
It's also tragic too, right? Because we look at the minimap and Wei is on the top side. You expect him to be going for a recall soon because he is just finishing off his Gromp. I don't think they can make anything happen in this top.
E ali a gente tem a gente tá tendo uma jogadinha inteligente da PSG, tá?
Luckily for Gala, he's on the Tristana. They were able to get the wave finally pushed in, but does he get it? No.
Has to gas. That's good. That's good, of course, by Gala. Everyone kind of assumes it's the middle brush, so picks a different one this time around.
Então o objetivo da PSG é comprar o máximo de tempo com a Tristana atrás, com o pé atrás, para poder controlar o wave e fazer ela perder coisas.
Sonic Wave can't connect free.
Erraram.
The big thing was Mega Gnar was about to show up, and you do not dive level 6 Mega Gnar. So PSG Talon strike first in the game, grabbing an Ocean Drake. Again, we expect them to win the early game. These teams have played each other several times. They've played other contemporaries here at the MSI Rumble stage. And look, PSG have maybe the best early game among the 4 teams remaining. RNG, though, they got second seed. They won these games because their mid game has been better, their team fighting has been better. We're going to wait for that stage to see if it flips back around. So far, so good, though, for PSG.
E cara, que jogo paciente da PSG, viu? Mas eu não acho assim, eu não acho que nenhuma das duas equipes está garantida se chegar numa determinada fase do jogo. O Azir, ele pode escalar entre aspas melhor que a Orianna, mas ele tem um scaling diferente. O Azir, ele não é um escalonamento para dano explosivo, sabe? Ele é um scaling para dano ao longo do tempo.
And yeah, if it just comes to that, we're just going to wait for RNG to hit some breakpoints to where they can start posturing in front of neutral objectives.
Nice power spike there, level 7 Lee Sin, E plus active, one-shots the backline. And okay, you gonna battle for this? Yes, okay, bit of damage. Jumps back, however, still gets kicked around and stunned as well. Xiaohu without an ultimate might not matter. They, I guess, are probably not going to fight for Rift Herald in 30 seconds then if it gets to be an early play. Obviously, Dragon's down. That's not going to be important cooldown for that one. And now, River going in, Maple gonna flash
Opa.
follow, and that's a stun right away. Absolutely no way out for
É, o
Cryan.
Cryan já tá morto, não tinha como sair.
First blood for Psg Talon.
And the emote coming out as well. You love to see it. We highlighted how this would be one of the breaking points for PSG was the fact that Maple overall has had a better tournament than Cryan. He's been a playmaker. Clement highlighted it.
Isso daqui também é o potencial de criação de jogada do Azir. E, diferentemente da Orianna, ele é um campeão de alta mobilidade. Então você acompanha o flash da Orianna com a sua mobilidade e usa o seu flash para ir um passo à frente, né?
As Rivers is going for farm, this is going to be RNG. And by the way, of the teams alive in the tournament, they top the stats in first Herald and first
Ali, ó,
result.
a diferença de alcance. E aí você queima o flash dele com a sua mobilidade normal. E o River ainda deu flash, principalmente para pegar o manto de Nimbus. Que ele ganhou uma velocidade monstruosa com isso.
Here we go. No plates taken in mid just yet. Double checking my stats. Yeah, CSD at 15 on average for Cryan from the Rumble stage, minus 13.4. This is par for the course in the mid lane. Leads his team in ISO deaths. Leads mid laners in ISO deaths. This is normal gameplay. Sadly, his laning, no, it has not been outstanding, but the mid game has gotten better from there. The Herald that they normally get, yep, that one's already happened here as well. RNG are honestly playing their average game so far at MSI. Psg Talon, a little bit not the same since there have not been any bot
É uma
lane
vantagem
ganks.
não
They're
muito
leaving
grande
that lane
para
alone.
PSG, sabe?
They're just farming back and forth.
Mas é uma vantagem que pode ser convertida em coisas maiores. Principalmente quando você tem 20 de farm. É mid e jungle principalmente estão sendo as diferenças para PSG. E não é pelo jeito que eles estão jogando, por onde eles estão investindo os recursos deles.
RNG just doesn't have that same mid-jungle attention that E-Star did in 2020, where both of them come from. So,
enquanto é muito provável que o Wei tenha que jogar mais pro top, jogar mais focado no Xiaohu, se eles quiserem ter alguma chance de ganhar esse jogo.
Could be, but you have to expect with Dragon coming up in 40 seconds, you eventually move down towards bottom side. But yeah, Kaiwing just put 2 wards down in that top left side of the map, you know, spotting out some movements may be available. Way, indeed, maybe just cross-mapping here, but you can see Hanabi, look, he's about to be Mega Gnar, so you can't easily tower dive him, but you can get a lot of turret damage. Turrets down to 4k health. Half of that will die just to the Rift Herald charge. The question is, can any more damage be dealt as Dragon now spawns in 15. Doggo takes some decent damage. Gala burns the ult, but I like that a lot. Doggo is basically out of mana. He's gonna have a really hard time team fighting. Yeah, he'll knock down the minions here, but has nothing else to do. As River's waiting around by Krugs, they are not going to burn Rift Herald. It's going to be a reset for Wei instead, walking down the bottom side. Neither jungler actually anywhere near that objective.
Se a Royal quiser esse dragão, eles têm como setar e jogar o Arauto no mid, ganhar pressão, mid ou bot, né? Ganhar pressão, e com esses membros liberados por conta da pressão do Arauto, eles conseguem entrar com vantagem numérica e controlar o dragão.
Level 10 now for Maple, 9 for Cryan with 0 bonus AP anywhere in his build. Merc treads to try to deal with Udyr stuns to run away, and otherwise just sustain tool. So a very slow build here for Cryan. Gonna sit there and wait around. Maple not going for the turret just yet. Could have put in a few autos before the wave died, but not gonna make that one happen here. Wei clearing out the Raptors, and we may see the Dragon under fire soon. Neither team feeling that comfortable just yet. And Rift Herald is down to 30 seconds remaining, so Wei has to burn this very soon. Top lane fight, Q's gonna land pretty good damage, but of course all the tank stats, Hanabi having the plated steel caps and whatnot, not gonna be too big of a difficulty. There comes the Herald.
Vão jogar no bot, a lane que eles têm mais pressão, mais possibilidade de jogar por conta de ser uma Tristana com um Brown do lado. Então eles têm a defesa e o ataque.
I don't expect anything more to happen. River's on his way, and
Gala has turret dagger. Careful, buddy.
Ooh, Gala.
Got out of range. Okay.
We know Gala always plays on a knife's edge, so something something that's not too different for RNG, but Maple also has a TP as well, so I think RNG definitely need to pace themselves with, you know, whatever shenanigans we can see they are clearly planning.
Yeah, Dragon not important. Gold income is what matters. 4 turret plates taken bottom side. Gala has been out.
Como tem muita gente nessa lane, a torre fica... E é uma plate só, a torre fica muito tanque.
He's got a bunch of gold already on the Mythic, as we mentioned. Ult's going to be burned. Hanabi at the very tail end of Mega Gnar. Play in mid lane, not quite going to happen. Ulti's still safe. Shaka comes across now. And now to the bottom side, Doggo pushed back out of the turret at 250 health. Ming takes it. Gala walks in. Summoner heal. The Q's going to land the turret.
Mas pra caralho.
Oh, and PSG looks like they're going to turn.
Nice slow, though.
Yeah, Ming really on point with that.
O Gala não gastou nenhum SS.
Saying, hey, we're pulling attention mid, we're pulling attention top. This is our chance to look for this play bot. But Gala had already tanked up those shots earlier, as you had mentioned. He was taking damage during the whole dive, and it's just a bit tragic for RNG.
Yeah, turret aggro, a little wrong place, the wrong time, unfortunately. I think Ming could have maybe intentionally taken one more shot, I'm not sure, but PSG, off of that second kill of the game, managed to come back and grab second Dragon.
Yeah, and you know, we're gonna go straight
aquele all-in, que é o potencial da Tristana.
Does go with the ultimate maybe a little bit too early. Ming still holding turret aggro, doing his job, throws out the Q, and then yeah,
okay, he dropped aggro too early.
Yeah,
o Ming podia ter tomado mais um tiro. E o Gala tomou o Q da Kai'Sa inteiro também.
The entire reason I think they even lost Dragon, because Gala being alive, there's no way you get to sneak that one away from him. So small mistake there, but the gold has basically tied back up. 300 gold separates these teams, but PSG Talon with double Drakes picked up, moving towards Cloud Soul. That's gonna pretty much feel real good. And
uma das nuvens é muito boa para a equipe deles, inclusive, porque é uma equipe que corre só, né? Isso na mão de um Udyr é muito bom. Isso na mão de uma Leona é muito bom. Isso na mão de um Gnar é muito bom. Que além de ter a velocidade de movimento extra, eles têm acesso a essa redução de cooldown da ult, né? Mas vale ressaltar, com essa jogada, com esse foco nas barricadas,
top lane difference, a beautiful setup by Xiaohu.
Yeah, just, you know, perfect layering of CC like you said. I love the flash coming out to make sure that then Wei can get in range for the binding. His flash did have to come out too, but not a big deal. Gala!
Big jump in, stun's gonna land, exhaust, 2 more autos will kill him, and Gala takes him. And on the way back out, Ignite is timed down, stun's gonna land on Kai Wing, can he get the damage? Rocket jump for the slow, gets him, and the flash to safety, Kai Wing! You magnificent player. And now it's time for River to flash back in. Phoenix stance on, dissonance is just enough to get Cry into safety.
And now we're getting the match I expected. These two teams have the highest champion kills per minute left out of the tournament. Maple
wants to go in, but doesn't go for the ulti backwards, doesn't scoop Ming. I thought he was going to be in range, but doesn't make the play. Ultimately, there's not going to be a kill. The TP from Hanabi does nothing.
Yeah, we had so
Eles investiram o teleporte pra não dar a play? Como assim?
Hanabi's about to be mega. Ooh, way though.
Yeah, fighting now. No ult for Morgana. Black Shield
péssimo momento, péssima posição,
Way in danger. I like the blue trigger in case he tried to flash over the wall. In case he had it, there would have been an ult follow. Kill comes across. So thanks for the red buff leash. That's going to go back on the Doggo. 4-3 in kills, close game.
And I'm assuming that Wei thought there'd be more members of PSG bot side because you see both Hanabi and Maple showing on the waves. You can assume, hey, maybe their whole team is sitting at vision, playing around that half of the map. We do see that River also has his bot camps up, but unfortunately for Wei, that was not the case. They make their way towards top side. And now not only having 2 Drakes, they're also going to pick up this second Rift Herald as well. I feel like they should have a lot of areas where they could use this because, again, they've been the ones pushing most of their lane, so they can very easily rotate onto, you know, something like a mid lane and be able to break down that turret.
I think right now, looking at this game, RNG, of course, up in gold 1300.
E é curioso, porque é um time que, por mais que eles estejam lutando mais, estejam conseguindo kills, tendo conseguindo tudo, quem tá botando todas as vantagens, quem tá conseguindo pressionar a torre e tudo mais, tá sendo a RNG.
Nice by River to lock him up. Maple, though, goes for the play.
Shuffle back, Shahu ward hops away, but, oh, that kick is really nice as well. River can't get any more of the stuns across, so he lives from a ward hop and an ultimate. And now as Gala walks mid, he wants to have the dirt to kill.
Yeah, RNG, they do have numbers advantage. They did just clear out bottom wave, but still with PSG rotating, they're not going to be able to find anything. But going back to your last point, Xiaohu has been the one, in my opinion, this whole tournament, right? Where whenever RNG are falling behind, it is those cross-map plays coming from Xiaohu that have kept them even in gold and then be able to find those later wins either from backdoors or from split pushing or flanks. So definitely like that they got him on the Lee Sin. I think it's been one of his more proficient champions at this tournament, and it gives him a lot of playmaking power in these fights.
It does, and I'm watching for it still. Course, went for the tankier build. We sometimes do see Stride Breaker on Lee Sin. It's more of a rarity, but it's still an option. Going for more of the frontline option. Keep in mind, only Braum as your other melee champion. You do need some level of frontline there. Kaiwing gonna find
que ult foi essa?
Not gonna land anywhere close.
A ult foi muito depois do flash. A ult foi muito depois do flash. E ele errou. Meu Deus.
Looks like RNG might want to find something though, because Xiaohu's coming in on the flank.
Okay, watch out for the Lee Sin. Can he find Maple? Blue Trigger's gonna spot the roam. They called that he was missing. What's the team fight gonna look like? Turret will not quite die to the charge, but gets very dangerously low. Could not commit for demolish, and that turret's gonna stay alive at about 1k health. So PSG gets some damage. Binding is good damage. I mean, anytime you have rain damage like that, that bind sets up for 600 damage to come across. Kaiwing able to walk away though, but at half health, that is a bit of danger. And that might make the team fight a bit more difficult as wards are swept out. The third dragon is alive, but RNG own the river.
Yeah, I think we need to keep our eye on Hanabi because his rage bar is stacked up, and he could potentially find a flank. Looks like PSG actually are just going to give this one away, though, with Kaiwing recalling after taking that chunk. I like that RNG are now starting to realize, hey, we can contest these Drakes. They're realizing they have to play around that side lane pressure with Xiaohu.
E agora a Royal, né? A Royal, como eu disse, eles fizeram muito jogada em cima de torre. Eles conseguiram... Eu acho que eles não chegaram a conseguir todas as barricadas do bot, né? Eles não conseguiram fechar, matar a torre antes de cair nas barricadas. Mas eles conseguiram no top. Então, consequentemente, o Xiaohu tem muito ouro. A Tristana também tem muito ouro. E o controle de mapa é todo da RNG.
And all the skill shots, Q after Q after Q, but none of them can hit.
And I'm just really surprised that Kaiwing threw out that ultimate, right? Because I feel like one of the things that would dissuade RNG from being able to push that play all the way in mid lane is the fear and the threat of the potential lockdown coming out from the Leona. And once you waste that one, that is just all gone.
Okay,
meu amigo.
Maple shuffles into a stun and away, jumps around, gonna find the kill, yes, but it's traded back 1-for-1, as now River has to just simply run away. Gala, though, finds himself the slow, 2 autos will kill, a flash of safety, but there is the rest of it. The ulti guarantees it, but they have no
Não, eles não podem fazer barão.
Way goes down, but still, I feel like this trade definitely favors for RNG. Trading Maple for Way, you're gonna take that every time. Maple's been one of the members getting the most gold on the side of PSG, and now RNG just gonna get a bit of a break. They're going to be able to default to resetting.
Sendo bem sincero, nesse momento do jogo, nesse ponto do jogo, o time que tá, entre aspas, na frente é a Royal, tá? A Royal tá mais, ela tá mais spikeada do que a PSG.
River does go down, but like you said, sadly, we did see Way go down at first. And Way, pretty serious about something.
And honestly, trading your jungler for mid plus, I think it was mid plus jungle yourself, like that's outstanding here. So
por quê? Por que isso especificamente? Primeiro porque a Orianna, nesse momento, a Orianna ela já dá muito dano. Ela já tem um burst potential, um potencial de dano explosivo com a ultimate dela bem alto. Ela tá com o cajado do arcanjo, ela tá prestes a fechar o item mítico dela. Então ela vai dar bastante dano explosivo com essa ultimate. Enquanto o Maple ele ainda tem que continuar batendo, longo tempo, etc e tal. Então os dois estão perto de fechar o segundo item, só que é exatamente isso. A spike de 2 itens da Orianna é mais forte que a do Azir. A spike de 3 itens do Azir é potencialmente melhor que a da Orianna, tá? Então, nesse momento, a Orianna tem prioridade nas lutas.
Going for the blue buff steal right now, and
Além disso, né, conta do alcance dessa composição. Onde a Morgana estiver, eles têm uma vantagem de alcance. E essa vantagem de alcance vai fazer com que eles possam dar poke e inibir uma iniciação, tirando vida dos adversários, né? Tirando muito HP deles e impedindo que eles joguem, impedindo que eles entrem e que façam o que eles quiserem, né?
3,000 gold to RNG. They have only made good choices, it feels, for the last 10 minutes.
And this is where we especially see their good choices, right? Because they're keeping Crying in the side lane. We've already seen them consistently.
O Lee Sin também ainda tá bem no ponto de conforto dele. Ele tá com 2 itens já. Um Lee Sin com 2 itens é quase a mesma coisa que um Lee Sin full build, tá? Nesse meta. Ele é um campeão que tem um early game muito potente, ele tem muita força. Ele tem um potencial de pick-off muito grande. A gente viu o que aconteceu com o Kai Wing lá no mid, naquela jogada da T1. Ele simplesmente jogou o Kai Wing pro time e falou, mata esse cara aí.
Black Shield was on from Wei, and that means Maple is just gone, but it's still traded back.
Foi Maple pelo Gala, vantagenzaça pra PSG, hein?
Psg Talon coming alive as Kaiwing flashes in for the Sun and a Xiao, who gets kicked, but only onto River. He's too tanky. Shockwave sets up 3, and the ulti just means nothing from Ming. There just isn't enough crowd control or enough damage with Gala already dead.
Tu vê a quantidade de dano que esse Lee Sin é capaz de absorver, entende? Esse é o objetivo dele, é causar disrupção e absorver muito dano.
The kick from Lee Sin is down. I'm not sure if they can really go for this, but looks like they just want to posture to try to force PSG away.
O Hanabi ainda tem ultimate. Isso pode ser uma jogada de fim de jogo pra RNG. E vão neutralizar o Xiaohu, mas a neutralização caiu pra mão do River. Isso foi horrível. Isso foi horrível.
Team fight victories and sole point for Psg Talon.
And that just feels so strange from RNG to contest that, knowing they have numbers disadvantage and knowing that they don't have those big AoE abilities to even force from that position.
E olha como é que começa tudo, né? Tudo começa com o Maple jogando, aí você pensa, pô, se matou. Só que olha isso, isso daqui é um 4v2. E a Orianna, ela não pode botar a cara aqui, só que aí o time tá fechando, só que ainda é um 3v3, sabe? E agora é um 4v3. Então a Royal não tem opção.
Nope. Mythic finally done, has Luden's Echo. Went Seros first, by the way, off the early tier. So on 2 items, but it's Merc Treads, right? He went for defensive boots, he's a stopwatch.
Agora a Orianna já tá com o mítico fechado. O Azir tá com essa Void fechada também. É interessante o jogo já.
He's just there to be some team fight utility, but that means if Gala is not there to fight, they don't have that much damage, right? It is a fairly tanky Lee Sin build, can be threatening, but if you don't assassinate, you don't have the frontline killing. Here we're going to try again as River finds a stun. Ming comes around, now slowed up, has the shield on, not going to be a huge issue there. Cryan now rejoining the fight. We'll see what the next move is going to be.
Eu acho que o ponto principal dessa luta foi a quantidade de vantagens que a Kai'Sa conseguiu obter. Sabe? E agora a Kai'Sa, ela tá quase inalcançável. Digamos assim, na próxima teamfight, eles têm que focar a Kai'Sa para fazer ela queimar os recursos dela.
So if a fight broke out now, I think they should definitely be favored. And now my question is, how does RNG really break open the flow of the game again? Because
e finalmente a PSG consegue abrir essa torre do mid. Está sendo um grande ponto de contenção de lutas, né, nos últimos minutos.
Looks like they're collapsing on Wei. Might get away, but Xiaohu though.
Well, he's channeling Summoner Teleport, and he's flanking the mid lane. There could be a battle here, to be honest. The entire squad is around. Maple gets around, and suddenly Xiaohu realizes, wait a second, they saw me, and just goes down before anyone can do anything to react. That stun, though, huge.
Nossa!
Q sets it up, I believe, and nearly gets the kill on River.
So close, but Xiaohu thought he was going for the flank, but sadly, like you said, they saw him, so...
Isso tem cara de erro de comunicação, cara. Isso tem muita cara de erro de comunicação. ele não tinha como... A Tristana teria que se colocar em muito risco pra entrar, então não era vantagem, não era o tipo de jogada que eles podiam fazer. E foi erro de leitura do Wei. Do Wei não, do Xiaohu. E potencialmente falha de comunicação, né? A gente não sabe se foi uma call, se alguém falou pra ele dar esse engage ou não.
Now we're going to see how it all started off, right? Because initially it looked like PSG were collapsing on Xiao, who does come in, like you said, spotted by the minion wave. He goes down, but I want to keep my eye on how River gets chunked so low. Oh, just starts to run in, gets tagged by the Braum Q, like you said. And I mean, Gala is just massive at this point.
Halo Blade's Trist, like, that is a lot of damage really fast. And yes, that is a big thing, and I'm glad you pointed it out. Gala was part of 2 of the 3 turret kills, was part of all 5 pates taken in the bottom lane, despite
uma coisa a prestar atenção novamente nessa luta. A gente tem cronômetros no mid das duas equipes e no Doggo, tá? E a gente tem, obviamente, a Morgana obviamente tá de Zônia já. A Leona tá com cronômetro também. Ok. Ou seja, a PSG tá se preparando para poder absorver jogadas ou criar jogadas. A Leona vai poder se jogar no meio dos caras e usar um cronômetro, por exemplo.
Act as a stun bot. Hanabi's going to have that Mega Narc, High Wings there. You just have a lot of ways to peel for the carries on the side of PSG.
Dragon Soul spawning in 20 seconds though. How good's the peel going to be when the team fight starts? There is still a gold difference on RNG's side, but PSG have the extra stats.
Eu ia falar do posicionamento do Doggo, mas ele tá tranquilo. Que é um Braum, né? Tipo, o suporte deles é um Braum. Mas se você acerta um Q da Morgana, é a morte, tá? De um alvo isolado.
There's always a chance at a Baron Rush. I mean, Azir Kai'Sa is going to kill that fast.
That's the thing, right? And that trade is so in favor.
E lembrando, meus amigos, que hoje por que tem tanta tensão nesse jogo? Porque não tem escolha, sabe? Essa série acaba hoje de um jeito ou de outro. Meu amigo, Hanabi morreu. Beleza, eles sacrificaram o Hanabi pela jogada e o Kaiwing também. Ok. Só que as duas kills foram pro Doggo. Pro Gala, quer dizer.
Do think it'll be tough to siege down any turrets on the side of RNG. Maybe you can get some, right? Bot lane outer's almost done. You can group as 5, maybe take mid, but I definitely think RNG are fine with the trade that they took. You stop Soul from going over, have a second cloud yourself, got some more.
E com o wave clear da Royal é bem tranquilo de lidar com isso, tá?
And I found this very cheeky from PSG. I really like Maple over the wall, getting most of this damage down on it. We're just gonna see here, Wei walking in, yeah, just not able to get that smite down. Actually, looks like he did smite and just got outsmited by
Foi uma falha muito grande de timing do Hanabi. Ele sem a ultimate, ele não tem como fazer nada disso.
Right? Yeah. Junglers are basically alone inside the pit saying who's going to press D correctly, and it happened to be River timing it better. But RNG, they owned mid lane, right? So the Red Bull Baron buff is on, 2 minutes on that one, okay, cool. But RNG owned mid, Gala got to solo the dragon, so PSG still not getting towards Soul just yet. And they happen to win this Might coin flip. Like, that does not give me a lot of confidence.
It doesn't. And it's also very funny because, you know, from casting LPL is the region of coin flip, Aaron. So, to me, RNG are probably very at home going for that. Obviously, they didn't win out, so PSG props to you beating, you know, the Baron Burger flip kings, but now it's really just going to be a game down to execution, right? Because both of them have very good 5v5 team comps, both execute in very different ways, and PSG, they just want to keep up the pressure they have because they're trying to get some deep vision down in RNG's jungle.
Yeah.
And now I'm just looking at, you know, can Kaiwing find that?
Outra coisa importante, luta em corredor fechado é boa para quem tomar a iniciativa. Porque se a PSG tomar a iniciativa, você calcula que eles estão com o Mega Nar e estão com a ultimate da Leona. Nesse caso, eles podem ganhar uma luta. Se a Royal toma a iniciativa, você automaticamente calcula que é a Morgana entrando com o ultimate pra combar com o ultimate da Orianna.
So that is useful no matter what happens with the buff. You still get some permanent power.
Yeah, and you know, even then, just adding on to it the fact of like taking it off the map. Now the enemy can't go for any plays, you know, forcing you to a Baron or getting a Baron. So definitely nice for the side of PSG. They did get one turret. It was that bot lane outer, but that was like on 100 HP anyway. As Maple and Doggo go in.
Black Shield and Flash now forced out for Wave. So nice attempt there. Doggo, I think, landing the W into the ultimate and just kind of self-sets up. Kai Wing, of course, ulti down now as well, but that could be an important cooldown. There's no flash for Wei for this dragon fight in 2 minutes.
No, and you know, that definitely going to be an impactful summoner. He will have the Predator at the time if he does want to look to start a fight himself, but I think luckily for the side of RNG, right, they're just going to continuously be the ones kiting out the team fight. We'll have the Zanya, so we'll still have a bit of safety. But I feel like now we're just looking at the next item breakpoints. We do finally have the Void Staff on Crine. I think that is massive. This will be where we start to see those shockwaves really have impact on these team fights. But on the opposite side, Doggo coming out with a GA. We have Azanias on Maple, so they can at least survive that like first rotation of spells and threat coming out from RNG.
Right, having tools against the Lee Sin backwards kick or a shockwave or something. Right, in Maple's case, he just Zonias and immunes it, or he gets kicked in because you can't like waste a Lee Sin kick cooldown with Zonias. You have to like either let him just kick you afterwards or let him kick you in the first place. But he can at least buy the time afterwards. And in Doggo's case, obviously, he can just revive and keep the fight going. So that'll be something to watch for sure. The front line looks really good though. Randuin's Omen done for Hanabi. He can
Doggo tem GG, tem GA, mas se você olhar para a composição da RNG, o Gala tem 4 itens com crítico e dano. Então, enquanto o Doggo foi para essa opção mais defensiva, o Gala foi para uma opção completamente ofensiva.
And now we're just going to have this mid lane contest where we talked about RNG's comp is actually very good at being able to be on midway first and push that one out. So it's very easy for them to be able to retake vision. We can see if Hanabi pushes out bot wave and maybe tries to force a flank of his own. Again, if he can get on the backline carries, find a massive Gnar ultimate as we've seen many times this tournament, could definitely be a way for PSG to win the game. So PSG, we're looking for side wave control. RNG, they're in that 5v5 formation where it's front to back as we talked about.
But they're stuck through a choke point right now, and honestly, Orianna loves choke points. Keep the ball there, it's never going to be easy. Maple wants to jump in, but it's way too late. They just cannot fight through this one. And PSG, 2 times in a row now, just do not have the control to contest the dragons, and now RNG is on sole point.
And I definitely think that last one comes down from the fact that they sat on
E realmente você não tem como entrar na esfera da Orianna. Eles ficaram ali muito tempo encarando, né, por assim dizer. E com essa encarada, quem retomou a pressão foi a Royal, né? A Royal tem mais range nessa altura do jogo, principalmente com a Tristana. E consequentemente conseguiu, usando desse range, usando desse dano de longuíssimo alcance, conseguiu pressionar a PSG para fora.
On PSG's side, they are the opposite. They have had the early game plays, but their team fighting, their macro, their map control, that's what lets them down as time goes on.
And it feels like, right, that's also a byproduct of how dominant they are in their region, right? You're never going to really get the practice to enhance those aspects where your early game prowess in your laning phase are enough to only drop one game in your region. And it's going to come down to maybe PSG feeling like, hey, we need to force something. Maybe we go and try to flip a Baron once again.
Yeah, well, some dead ward vision lets them know, and now without control especially, they really know what's going on, and they know PSG have left that brush entirely. Ming's chair goes all the way through the brush, so he knows for sure they are gone. Instead, PSG set up a little bit of Baron bait, and they get mid priority, but now it means that, okay, RNG have to answer mid now, so you can try again for Baron control. You can try to knock down the wards and see if you can get it.
E vale ressaltar que a PSG tem barão muito rápido, tá?
Trying to pull Hanabi away from the rest of his team. Now it'll be RNG's window where they can have Shahu hover towards mid and they can enter river safely as they're doing on our screen. Even if he wants, he could even start taking that bottom side scuttle, give himself a bit more safety, but they're just going to look to start the Baron.
Was a bit of vision. They know what's going on here. River has the way over. They can get some vision. He can blast plane.
E o Hanabi tá mega.
Right. He won this fight last time. Buster shot! Gala makes it 100-0. Absolutely beautiful. Who needs Smite when you've got Tristana?
And this is why we've said, oh, Doggo, though, going in.
I like the play, though. They forced the exhaust. They forced everything out they could have possibly, nearly getting the kill. But Gala had backup.
This is why we've been talking about Gala as the best AD in the tournament. Like, you hit on it earlier, Freak, but it's pretty much universally agreed on. He's been performing out of his mind at this tournament. As someone who in the LPL regular season was, you know, pretty good, I'd say above average for sure, but definitely not in the conversation with people like Jackie Love or Viper at the time, goes into playoffs, has a standout performance, and then once again, on the biggest stage of them all, right? An international event against the best teams in the world. Yep. The fact that he's making plays like this is so impressive.
Yeah, and it's so fun as well because, again, this is
uma jogadinha muito simples, sabe? Você aperta R, tira jungle de perto e acabou.
Two international titles from the LPL. Cool, EDG won MSI. Cool, IG and Fun Plus Phoenix won Worlds. But RNG were second in line. They won MSI back when. They're going to maybe win it again here. They're beating PSG in game 1. They 2-0'd down 1, their likely opponent in the finals. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but they are the position where they can make that run, and RNG getting the second LPL trophy to their name, that is exciting, and we'll see if that one's going to happen. A minute and a half to go until someone is getting Dragon Soul. PSG got the first couple, but RNG have fought back again and again and again, and with this Baron buff, it feels so likely that they claim that.
And also now we're getting to full builds, right? Both AD carries have 6 items at this point. We see that Gala actually picked up the Bloodthirster.
E o Gala não tem GA.
Wanting more sustain in these fights. Actually, the side of PSG don't have a ton of burst, right? So no one really should be able to come in instantly one-shot you. So he realizes, hey, I'm going to be able to sustain throughout these fights. On the side of PSG, Doggo, I think still has his GA active, so he should be completely fine. A second Randuin's for River. Again, that's going to be massive when you know the main damage dealer for RNG is Gala. And yeah, I feel like we're finally at a point where both teams are in a position where, you know, if they get the correct position, if the correct abilities hit, they have the damage now, they have the durability to win these fights. But RNG, they're still playing the map game, right? We see both soul laners and side lanes pushing out waves, with Dragon up in 30 seconds.
É, com esse dragão, parece que a PSG givou o dragão. A PSG não vai tomar alma, é isso mesmo?
Walk through chokes against an Orianna ultimate, and that's just going to be very rough for their composition to do.
And this is impressive by RNG because I really do favor the outright team fighting of Psg Talon. I think champ for champ, I love their champions, you know, at least 4 out of the 5. But
porque meio que eles estão caindo no joguinho do Xiaohu, sabe? Que é o joguinho de você toda hora responder o Lee Sin.
TP's coming in now. This will be the battle for Cloud Soul. It has spawned, and Gala can just open up right away. When can PSG challenge? Xiaohu forces out Hanabi. Meganar is ticking down. And once again, there is no contest. RNG grab Cloud Soul.
Pra mim, o que parece é que a PSG foi de Next já. A impressão que eu tenho é que a PSG já givou o jogo, mentalmente já givou o jogo.
Where they know they can't win the fight, where if they walk in, they guaranteed lose. We had everything up on both sides, so, you know, there were tools there, but the fact that I think Hanabi is forced out, it means Kaiwing's really your only frontline, your only true initiator. Sure, Udyr can run in, but not really the same, and yeah, they back off. Soul for RNG, and now I'm wondering, are we actually going to get action in this next 5 minutes, or are PSG going to keep playing the waiting game like they've been doing and say, hey, we wait for Elder?
I really feel like PSG are just capitulating. I mean, look how scared Kaiwing looks. Look at his itemization. He went Zhonya's hourglass second. I want to be clear. Leona has really, really, really bad AP ratios. Yeah. Like, there are champions you can, like, kind of swing. The item is like, well, it's actually good. Like, Rel has good ratios, so maybe it's going to work out. Leona's are really, really, really trash. So it's functionally not text to have AP in this build. So he spent 2,600 on a Zhonya's active. You do not possibly care that much about a Zhonya's active. There's no way this is actually what you need, but he's so scared. He's taking so much damage from dark bindings, and he's afraid to frontline despite that being his job. This is really worrying to me that PSG have not walked into a single fight in the last 12 minutes.
A PSG agora ela tá num ponto em que ela tá pressionada contra a parede.
Alongside Hanabi and River, and you know they can kind of share that burden, but RNG have just kept pulling them across the map. Hanabi hasn't
e eles têm monte de recursos que eles nunca usam.
For, you know, the past 5 minutes. So, Kaiwing, maybe the fear goes a little bit too far, but I can at least understand, hey, you know, where's my dive buddy right alongside me to help me get my team in the position to win these fights?
Yeah.
And now it's just gonna be ping-ponging back waves. I think PSG are going to keep doing what they've been doing, which is, hey, we're going to set a vision, we're going to see if we can find a pick. But realistically, if RNG don't give over that pick, they're about 4K gold up, and I feel like they are fine with what they've been doing the past 5 minutes.
You see the gold difference growing and growing. The lead, which you expected in the first 10, and then it's all been RNG. 4 Cloud Drakes. That is some very, very short ulti cooldowns, by the way.
Lembrando que o teleporte nível 18 ele volta muito mais rápido, tá? Ele volta mais rápido do que ele voltava antes do nerf do tempo.
Look where RNG is. They once again already own the top jungle. PSG have capitulated every part of the
map. E olha isso, o PSG não tá se posturando, ele não tá tentando. Eles só vão tentar quando a RNG estiver derrubando o Nexus, eles temos que tentar, né?
Doggo forced a flash wave, face checking a brush, Kaiwing running backwards, TP is coming across, Shockwave will be dodged, but watch for the cooldown, it's gonna be short with 4 Cloud Drakes. So, and a death cap online as well. Yeah, Cryan has come online for sure. These shockwaves are lethal. Here comes the Baron, and it's time to go. But oh, look, Kaiwing. He is recalling away as Baron's being started.
And this one's just got to be free for the side of RNG. PSG don't have anything they could do. You could even see them realize this by the fact that they're just staying in mid lane. Doggo actually starting to channel his recall. I think for the side of PSG now, you try and get some vision down bot side, you wait for that Elder to come up in 2 minutes and 40 seconds, but now RNG, on top of the fact that they've already been winning out in side lanes and controlling these side really well,
o PSG tem que entrar na jungle do bot, colocar a visão e ficar de algum jeito, sabe?
Doesn't necessarily need to group with this team just yet, and now we're going to see how much RNG can get with this Baron power play.
Well, Maple scaling up though, and Maple is going to be scary. As you're mentioning, yeah, push around to the side lane, moving toward Death Cap. A 6-item Azir is obviously a gigantic threat, so that's going to be a concern if there ever is a real team fight on this side. But right now, it is RNG with, I believe, 5 straight neutral objectives, 3 dragons unanswered, the last 2 barons here as well, waiting for the wave to group up and then crashing in to knock down the turret as reinforcements come across. Xiaohu just on the side lane splitting up. And of course, he's getting pretty close to done on build as well. Halfway to Randuin's Omen to hit 6 builds. The farm, really adept, 403 CS, 500 down there for Gala, who's already at full build.
I also feel like this is just coming down to a battle of positioning, right? Especially between Maple
e eu acho que nenhum dos dois times quer, como é que eu posso dizer, quer correr muito risco.
It's a bit rough now because right, Cryan's kind of gotten into the fold. He actually already
has the death cap. Acho que o PSG não se tocou. Que nessa onda de não correr riscos, eles não estão jogando o jogo.
For no reason because RNG are forcing down the base.
They're gonna knock down bottom inhibitor turret. Bam! Maple G's at half health just from explosive charge, and once again, it is PSG tail between their legs retreating as RNG just take whatever they want.
And we got to remember that Gala's level 18 now, right? So his range is absolutely massive on this champion. Xiaohu might be looking for the 1v1.
He doesn't take damage. Like, realistically, like, what does he care about a stride breaker when he's got functionally 5.5 tank items there? So, yeah, walks up, clears the wave, burns the ulti, but again, 4 Cloud Drakes, who cares? Ori Shotgun, by the way, thank you, production. 45-second cooldown. 45 seconds with no intentionally itemized CDR in the build. Thank you, Cloud Drakes. Actually pretty good. Mid lane under fire. Turret is gone already. When will PSG choose to fight? Baron buff still on for 50 seconds. 2 inhibitors are down.
Yeah, and RNG gonna make the smart play. They're just gonna back off. Which
e agora é o Drake
deles
really também.
About the rest of the map. They're just gonna
a PSG não tem como ganhar a luta sem e não tem como ganhar a luta com.
It looks like they're gonna try and set up a pick here.
Good control by RNG. River walking up. Not going to find his engage just yet. He looks to walk forward's way. Has been on point with the black shields. It has made engages somewhat difficult. Been forced a little bit to sacrifice farm to his teammates as well. Only 266 CS. Leader in kind of a similar boat. The junglers not really as much gold income. And a TP from Cryan to rejoin the squad because Elder Dragon is alive and Gala has already started it. And PSG, they're going to be too late to the party. Make it objective number 7. It's going to be claimed.
Yeah,
and here's the team fight and it's already too late. The stopwatch lets him watch his team die. Gold indeed, as now damage is on towards Gnar. Backline fight comes in. Maple, it's not going to be enough. Everyone will drop. PSG Talon choose too late to find their moment, and Royal never
e foi o que eu tava falando, esse jogo virou assim. Eu sou bundão, eu sou bundão. É a leitura do time. a leitura do jogo. Tão preocupados em não perder, eles também não ganharam. Tão, jogo tão controlado, tão paciente que vocês perderam o jogo. Em algum momento você tinha que comprar uma luta, sabe? Aqui era a alma, sabe? Caraca, você tinha que... Ó, 1 minuto pra alma. E o que a Psg tá fazendo? Tá recuando. Tá givando pressão. Tá trocando de lugarzinho do mapa. Olha isso, cara.
And yeah, I feel like we're finally at a point where both teams are in a position where now they have the durability pushing out.
Eles não querem lutar, viu?
And that's just going to be very
right team fighting of Psg Talon. I think champ for champ, I love their champions, you know, at least 4 out of the 5. But RNG have gotten the map control and the vision control to make those normal team fights, battle lines drawn, not happening.
O Hanabi, ele tinha que ignorar aqui, cara. O Hanabi aqui, ele tinha que ignorar o Xiaohu e tinha que falar, foda-se, eu vou entrar. Só que aquele, eu sou bundão, eu sou bundão.
For Cloud Soul,
Givou.
it has spawned and Gala can just open up right away. When can PSG challenge?
E com isso o PSG givou. Falou, tá, não quero mais. E isso daqui já é, ó, o 4º objetivo que eles givam. Eles givaram esses 2 dragões, givaram o barão, givaram essa alma. É o 4º objetivo que eles givam. Sabe, eles escolheram um não jogo. Eles falaram, ah, não vou jogar, 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 não vou jogar. E ficaram nessa de não vou jogar até que perderam. Simples assim. E é isso. Então, meus amigos, achei um jogo legal no começo e bem chato no final. Então é isso. Muitíssimo obrigado a todos vocês. Voltamos já já com o 2º jogo dessa série. E como sempre, GG. E até logo.